This lesson on academic writing skills is writing a counter-argument. We will begin with the introduction, then we move on to its language use. Finally, we will have some practices and quiz to check out learning. Now, let's start from the introduction. We'll learn three things. What is a counter-argument? Why we write counter-argument? And the structure and function of a counter-argument. So first, what is a counter-argument? It's usually a paragraph explaining an opposite view to your position. So why do we write counter-argument? We write counter-argument to show we have thoroughly examined the question at issue. However, we should avoid setting up a weak opposing view. Usually, a counter-argument includes four parts: introduction, support, concession, and refutation. We introduce the opposing view first. We then provide expert source, reasons, facts, and evidences to support the opposing view. Then, in concession part, we acknowledge the validity of the opposing view in a respectful way. Finally, in refutation part, we challenge the opposing view and restate our position. Now let's move on to learn the useful phrases in introduction, concession, and refutation part of the counter-argument. To introduce the opposing view in the paragraph, we can use the following sentences as topic sentences, and these verbs can be used in active or passive form. For example, argue, assert, contend, claim, state, or believe. After providing the support, we can use the following sentences to acknowledge the validity of the opposing view. Here are some examples. Finally, we can use the following sentences to challenge the opposing view and restate our position. As can be seen, transitional phrases in red are frequently used. And it's also important that we refute one opposing view at a time. We've learned the structure, functions, and language use of counter-argument. Now, let's practice to check out how much we have learned. Please choose the phrases that can be used for introduction. Okay, so here are the answers. These sentences address others' viewpoints by using the keywords some critics, many, and opponents. Next, please choose the phrases that can be used for a concession. Okay, so here are the answers. As can be seen in the sentences, the keywords "it's understandable why," "for this reason," and "as a result of" are used to acknowledge the validity of the opposing views. Next, please choose the phrases that can be used for refutation. Okay, so here are the answers. The transitional phrases are used to restate the writer's position. Now, let's move on to the quiz to check out learning. So please match the functions with the structure in the counter-argument. Okay, so here are the answers. Now let's quickly review what we have learned. As what we've learned, when writing a counter-argument, we introduce the opposing view first in introduction. Next, we provide expert source, reasons, facts, and evidences to support the opposing view. Then, in concession part, we acknowledge the validity of the opposing view in a respectful way. Finally, in refutation part, We challenge the opposing view and restate our position. Thank you for joining the lesson. The lesson is funded by the Ministry of Education.